Hello everyone, welcome to Cloud Mastery channel. Today we'll discuss about storage, cost analysis and CloudOps roadmap. Let's talk about agenda. So you can see we have introductions, object storage, block storage, file storage, pricing models, use cases and interview question and answers. So let's talk about introductions. So there are some classification in cloud environments in storage. If I say object storage, block storage and file storage, then what is mean of object storage? So if you see here, stores and manages data in objects as a flat structure, that means what kind of data you have. It could be unstructured. There is no pattern followed with that data. Then you can go easily with object storage and you can store that data over there. I will discuss about service name as well in further slides. Let's talk about block storage. So this is about fixed size of blocks, what size of blocks we have and how we can involve that unique identifier. uh, for example, if you want to use for this high performance applications, right, so we can use this, either we can use this for database with low latency. And then we'll talk about file storage. This is for accessible if you have multiple system and you want to share your data as per application environment and requirement. So you can have this type of file storage in cloud environments. We have multiple services in AWS also. I will also talk this in coming slides. So let's go one by one. Let's talk about object storage first. uh, if you see here, we have S3 Glacier, S3 Intelligent Tiering, S3 One Zone IA, S3 Standard IA. So let's talk about use cases, benefit, cost, and what kind of SLA we have in respect of these services which are available in AWS. So if you see here, Amazon S3, this is used for backups, data lakes, big data, your websites, mobile applications, IoT devices, and you can get the benefit in respect of derivatives, security, and cost-effective storage classes as well. And also you can follow the life scale management over there. And if I talk about pricing, then if you see, this is about pay as you go. We can use this Amazon S3 for data which you have the realistic environment, so you have to be paid for that one only. And if you say for free tier is available also, if you have any free tier account and you are trying something, some POC over there, proof of concept, then you can go with 5 GB storage. That is a limitation of your free tier account. There is a put command, get request also, 20,000 get, 2,000 put request, and 100 GB data you can transfer over the um, uh, applications. And if I talk about SLA, we have 99.90 SLA in respect of Amazon S3. Let's move further for Amazon S3 Glacier. This is about your long-term backup and your data archiving. This is very low cost storage for any kind of infrequent access. So sometimes we don't need uh, historical data, either I can say very old data on daily basis, right? So because you're copying those things and storing from last 1 year or 2 year based on the client requirement. So if you understood the structure of data, then you can discuss with the applications team, and after the discussion with the applications team, you can take the call with the one change, and then you can prepare that change and get it approved by client, and then you can apply this life cycle with the Glacier. You can definitely save much cost as compared to any classes of S3. So and then this is also pay as you go pricing, very low cost as I explained here, and SLA is 99.99% for an S3 Glacier. Then we'll talk about intelligent tiering. This is very new features I can say from S3 in from last 2 to 3 years, and this is changing based on your access patterns. So what kind of patterns we are following in the data, this feature will identify and then it will take the call. So this is automatic cost optimization I can say. If I talk about benefit and very low latency over there, this is also pay as you go pricing, and this is also 99% we have the SLA. And if I say in respect of the real use cases, instead of S3, I would always prefer to go with S3 intelligent tiering for at least for sandbox development and Q environment. So if you have those kind of environments and client is looking some cost optimizations portfolio with you, then you can definitely approach this S3 intelligent tiering features based on your applications review, applications team review, and then you can get approval from client. Then let's talk about Amazon S3 one zone IA. This is about infrequently accessed data, which is not required multiple availability zone resilience. Indirectly, if I say this is about your quality data, quality or your sandbox data, and also your client is not looking much on that with multiple replications or multiple availability zones, then you can easily go with this data, and this is also very low cost as compared to S3 standard IA, and this is very high durable we have. And if I talk about pricing model, if you see here, this is also pay as you go pricing model we have, and this is also very low as compared to S3 standard IA. Then let's talk about S3 standard IA frequent access that required rapid access when needed. Whenever you need, that time of you are required heavily use on that. So you can go with infrequent access for standard S3 standard, which have high durability and rapid access as well. And the pricing model will be same. If you see here, pay as you go, what are the uses you have, it will cost accordingly. And this is lower than your S3 standard. So these kind of services we can always go with object storage purpose, and we can propose to client based on the requirement. I have given all kind of use cases here, so you can choose based on that use cases, and then you can review more on that data, and then you can propose to client. Okay, please put your comment if anyone have any questions, so I will try to answer. And then let's talk about those candidates who or just started their journey with cloud environments and they want to try something on better understanding. So if you created your AWS account, free tier account, then you can use for 12 months, and then you can use this data for 5 GB in its 3 standard class, and there you can run multiple requests like 20,000 get request and 2,000 put, copy, post, and list request. Okay, let's move to block storage now. So block storage, we have EBS, elastic block storage volume we have, and that volume have multiple type of classes like GP3, IO01, IO0 type, IO02, this type of volume types we have in EBS. If I say about categories, you can share, you can see here from left side, multiple volume types, scalability, backup and recovery, data productions, data availability and durability, and data archiving, right? So these are the categories we have in elastic block storage, and every category having their own details in respect of what are the understanding. So multiple volume types, as I explained, we have SSD backed volume and SSD backed volume for ST1 SC1. For any kind of throughput intensive workload, you can use ST1 SC1, and if you have workload, normal workload or transition workload, then you can use for GP3 and IO01. Scalability, if I talk about scalability, then you can see here we can dynamically scale to meet capacity and performance based on the requirement, and also you don't need any downtime. Whenever you have any request from client to increase your storage, you don't need any downtime for that. And if you compare this with your on-premises data center, definitely you can understood like in on-premises data center you have to be put one more hard disk, if I say physical drive and all. But in respect of benefit in cloud, you can easily upsize your storage based on your IC code, Terraform, either cloud formations, either from console level. So any approaches you can follow based on the requirement and based on the client SLA. You can go and you can create more incremental volumes. Let's talk about backup and recovery. So backup and recovery point of view, also you have point in time recovery because you are taking daily backups, weekly backups based on the client requirement. So this is also, if you have AWS backup strategy you followed over there, and you are and you are having any loss, either you have any disaster recovery issues, then that time it will be very helpful to restore your data, right? So that type of approach also available in AWS. You can follow your daily backups, your weekly backups, your monthly backups, your quarterly and annual backup, and whenever you need that, you can restore the AMIs. There are multiple ways of restore. I will talk whenever AWS backup service topic will come here. I will talk deeply on this backup strategy and DR strategy. What is RPU and RTU? That is also will talk over there. Let's move to data protections. So data protection, if I say encryptions, so you can also encrypt your AWS volume. It could be from console level, either you can do it from ISC, either cloud formations, for your data safety and your secure storage. What kind of storage you have, that is also securing your uh, data. Snapshot also can be encrypted based on the additional protections environment. So that is also we can do. And suppose you identified that your environment is not encrypted, your EBS volume are not encrypted, then I would suggest to approach always to client to propose encryptions way, so that your client can also understood what kind of value added you are putting in your delivery. So encryptions, I would suggest to everyone to follow ABS encryptions method to client. But before that, you should give this understanding to applications team, because their data should be compatible with this encryption format. So once you get it approved by app owner, then you can propose this to client to proceed with the encryption format. And if I talk about data availability and durability, so you can see here we have 99.999% durability for previous volume. And also based on my experience in cloud from last 8 to 10 years, I haven't seen any kind of hardware fail or any kind of data loss by AWS. Obvious, if you done some mistake from your manpower, like if I say from any resources, done any mistake, definitely you can lose your data. But I'm talking about here about AWS services, managed services. I don't see any kind of failure from AWS side. I have seen for frequently hardware change in respect of EC2. Sometime our EC2 were hanged, not started because their hardware layer changed, and it was sometimes doesn't inform us. So that is I understood. But in respect of data loss, I never seen that any data loss happened with AWS hardware. So that I can ensure you, you can always go with EBS volume for any kind of uh, um, remediations or resolutions with the client. Okay, let's talk about data archiving. So data archiving, we have 90 days. If I talk about to retain the data size of EBS, but I would suggest to go with your backup strategy and also get it approved with client whenever you want to have the EBS snapshot, because initially you will never understand how impact is there about the cost. So always we prefer to go with sandbox development and quality at least for 3 to 6 months, and for production environment based on the client approval. It could be 1 year, it could be 2 year, but I'm not having uh, um, that mindset that you should go with the same pattern of production environment and non-production with one single backup strategy. You should follow different kind of strategy for data archiving and EBS snapshot based on your design of infrastructure and application. You should also challenge this to client whenever client is not getting understand, like why you are approaching 3 months and 6 months, what is about business impact and loss. Then you can always suggest to uh, on the requirement, like yeah, the cost also, how big cost will be there in coming 6 months in respect of $5,000 to $50,000, because your EBS snapshot will be increasing more. And I have also seen many times in our client as well. So please define your life cycle policy, define your backup policy, get it approved by client, and then you can proceed further. Okay, I have added one HLD design here to understand about elastic block storage. You can see SSD based and SSD based. So solid state drive is about general purpose and provision IOPS. You can always go with SSD based JP3, JP2. And if you have SSD based requirement, then you can go with the ST1 on those kind of delivery. Then you can attach this to EC2 instances, and then you can run your applications. Also, you can see here 99.999% availability is there about your block storage. So this is about very high level design. You can also see this in your AWS documentations, and whatever I'm running this session, everything is authenticated by AWS documentations only. I'm not putting any kind of uh, big commitment or any other false commitment here. So everything you can validate with AWS document. Yeah. So proceed with service detail, like what kind of use cases we have with EBS. So you can see, if you have the high performance storage requirement and database, you have big data analytics, then you can always go with EBS volume. And if you have servers, then you can also go with EBS volume. Benefit, as I repeat, like scalable, durable, and you can secure your block storage with the snapshot capabilities also. And cost, I can say this is a pay-as-you-go pricing based on the volume type, size, and IOPS you have to be paying. And SLA is 99.9% about EBS volume. Okay, so let's move to file storage. File storage is the last storage type in cloud, I can say, and I pick one service here to understand about a file storage, that is called elastic file system, that is automatically grows and shrinks based on our data adding or removing environments, right? So if you add or remove, it will be grow and shrinks. So what kind of category we have in EFS? I can say storage management, performance, cost optimization, accessibility, data protection, and security. So storage management, this is fully managed by serverless. This automatically scale up and down file or added or removed with no need of provisioning or capability planning. And if I talk about performance, scale offers general purpose and max IO performance modes, elastic throughput scaling to meet workload demands. Also, you can see here we have the cost optimizations. It provides us multiple classes in EFS. If you have lower cost storage approach, then you can go with the infrequent access, which can which can definitely save cost about 92%. And if I talk about protection and security, then you can see we have the encryption approach also in KMS. With KMS, you can encrypt your EFS service, and then you can go with your client approval. I have faced one issues in EFS encryption, so I'm sharing my experience here. You please always try this in your development phase only for EFS encryption. Sometime your application cannot get the compatible with your EFS, so that time we face some situations. So we also tried this with our sandbox environment, then only we'll go, then we have done this with production environment. So please, whenever you have any approach for encryptions, then you should go to try this first in development environment, and then you can proceed with the production environment based on the success change in non-productions. So if anyone have any comments, please put, and then I will try to answer your query. And then let's talk about HLD design. If you see here, we have the elastic file system which you can mount on multiple services. If I say about EC2, EC2 EKS service, Forget service, Lambda service, so there are multiple services in AWS where you can mount your elastic file system, and you can test and optimize your data. This is also used for multiple EC2. Suppose you have multiple EC2 in your system and your applications, and you want to share multiple files across, so you can introduce your EFS file system here with multiple EC2, and you can move the data from EFS to S3 also, one more layer of backup and archival. Okay, so let's talk about use cases. What kind of use cases we have with EFS? So if you have any web applications type of environment with client, definitely I can suggest to go with EFS. Either you have any machine learning or either analytics services, that also you can go with the introduce this EFS service, and you can get the approval from client, and you can proceed. If I talk about benefits here, then you can see it's a fully managed by AWS. You don't need to be put your dedicated resource or the team to heavily worked on this service because everything is managed by AWS only, and it's automatic scaling and scaling for growing and shrinking. That also you don't need to be worry. For example, in ABS volume, you have to be increase the data based on the client requirement. But here, if you're using EFS service, then you don't need to be manage this increasing the data storage and all things, because it's automatically managed by AWS service. If I talk about cost parameters, then you can see this is a pay-as-you-go pricing model. What are the services and data you are using over the EFS, then only you have to be pay based on the standard and infrequent access tiers. And if I talk about SLA, 99.99% availability is there in AWS. Also, I'm adding here my experience also from last 8 to 10 years. I don't face any issues with the EFS for any kind of data loss. So if you have very critical application, I always suggest to go with the EFS, and you will see how data will be secure more, and how will you reduce your RPO and RTO, recovery point of objective and request timeout. How can you secure? Okay guys, so let's move to some interview questions here. um, the first question in multiple MNCs asked about S3. What is S3 and what is the storage classes, right? So you can see Amazon S3 is the object storage service. It offers multiple classes, as I already covered in my slide, like intelligent tiering, IEA, one zone IEA, glacier deep archive. So these type of things you can explain to that time whenever someone asks to you. Let's move to second question. How does Amazon EBS differ from Amazon S3? So EBS is a block storage, S3 is object storage, right? So this is the first difference. Second difference, if you want to use very low latency and persistent storage, then you should always go with the block storage for any kind of EC2 machines. And if you have unstructured data like photos, images, files, you don't have any pattern of data, then you can always go with the S3, accessible via APIs, and then you can design for scalability and durability. Okay, let's move to the next one. Is about what is the purpose of EBS snapshot. So EBS snapshot is provide point in time backups of EBS volume. Whenever you have any disaster recovery, either data fails, that time you can always go with the EBS snapshot. Either you have the migration activity for different regions or accounts. So that is very useful. I will also cover one dedicated session for AWS backup strategy, how to follow with my realistic experience. Okay, let's move to the next one. Is about to explain the lifecycle management features in S3. So lifecycle management automates move objects between storage classes and deleting based on your predefined rules, optimize cost for long-term data storage. So that is the way you can explain this to your interviewer. And then let's talk about how does AWS ensure data durability in S3. So we have a durability SLA 99.11 times 9. So you can see how much it's secure and how much is have the ability zones. So your data is replicating with multiple ability zone within a region, right? So we can explain like this way. Then next question could be, what are the use cases of Amazon EFS? As I already covered, like EFS is ideal for shared files storage, like web applications, content management, analytics, and machine learning. So any kind of applications you have, to application for web and SAP HANA, either satellite applications, then you can always go with the EFS storage class to offer to clients. Okay, let's move to the next question. How does AWS Glacier differ from other S3 storage classes? So Glacier is designed for long-term archival storage with low cost but higher retrieval times. So it is suitable for data that is at frequent access. That is the way you can explain to interviewer. Then what is the difference between general purpose GP3 and provision IO02? So you can say like GP3 is cost effective for general workloads, while IO02 offers high IOPS and durability for critical application like databases. So like this way you can explain to interviewer. Next questions, how does AWS handle encryption for storage services? As I already covered this, like we have the encryptions approach in all layers. When I say all layers, means object storage, file storage, and uh, uh, block storage. You can see here provide encryptions at rest using AMS AWS KMS and intransit encryptions via SSL TLS certificates with the S3, EBS and EFS. So all type of encryptions we can support from secure data storage. Okay, so this is about storage we covered. Let's talk about next topic. So we will cover VPC, and VPC will cover about networking overview, HLD and LLD design, and then we'll talk about use cases also, and then we'll cover some interview question and answers. Thank you so much guys. Please put your questions if you have any questions, any comment, I will try to answer. Okay, thank you all. Bye bye.